Okay, so Rod Wave dropped a song called Cold Winter, and it's been a while since we heard anything from Rod Wave. So I was really shocked when I saw his name on his list of songs that dropped this Friday because I hadn't heard anything from him personally or from his album that he claimed that was coming. So, or I don't think it might have already came, but I have not heard a lot from Rod Wave. So I had to do a song on Cold November, and I know ironically, and a lot of people are gonna say it is not. Well, it's not December anymore. It's January. Yeah, I know, and we're almost in the middle of January, so I know this song feels a little differently, a little weird, but we will get into that really after word from my sponsor. Okay, so in the song, Road Away just kind of talks about the stuff he had to deal with, um, but he it's a little introduction part where this I believe it's Hank Jr. where they just kind of mention that stuff about control about his first tour at Open Me in Denver, Colorado, and his second tour. However, Broadway, when he opens the song up, he mentions a lot of different things. And one part in the introduction of the song, he talks about he's probably been his way since he was 18, which a lot of people when they turn 18 or getting to 18 or a few years after, so 18 in their mid 20s, they've been that way. They hit 18 and they stay in the way they are. But there are a few different things he talks about here, which are very interesting topics. He talks about he felt at one moment he says he believes in love at first sight, which is a great theory, and some people do and some people don't. But he says that same night I fell in love with her. The feeling it faded though, so I guess he fell in love with her that night, and then it faded later on, which makes sense. Who can you love and who can you trust now? That's your mainstream. So I guess what he's saying to himself is he's mainstream now, so a lot of people are just gonna get him for his money or his fame and try to capitalize off that. We've seen that with a lot of celebrities. The Drake situation, for example, is one of the scenarios where they try to use the person's fame to find true love. He mentions about his high school sweetheart, which um, the gender isn't listed. I don't know of the gender wasn't listed or wasn't mentioned in the song, but we're in an open world now where gender doesn't really matter. Is probably the best way to say that. He also mentions, but times change and people change too and grow apart, which adds on to the song because there are a lot of people that are not in your life for your whole life or your whole togetherness. It's you have high school friends that you grow apart from, college friends you grow apart from, even in the lower grades you grow up or you go through an experience with a bunch of people, and then you can fall off and not come in contact because people become busy and have a different life. He mentions at one point he wants to start a family, which I think is an interesting take because there aren't a lot of rappers that are openly talking about families. So he says he wanted to start a family. Um, One girl he was talking to, he knew showed resentment, but I think she ended up pregnant, and she felt abandoned. So I guess the person she had their baby with, I guess his high school sweetheart, felt abandoned after she had a child, and I guess the father wasn't there. Um, okay, so I think they fell in love. He talks more about her and just how they went traveling to places like Puerto Rico, Miami, stuff like that, which I think is also great that rappers are talking about. He says he met a friend through another girl, and they were best friends, and I guess he messed with one of them, and then they lost. They had a falling out over a guy, which I wouldn't recommend. A lot of women fall out over guys, which I don't think is a safe way to handle that because sometimes they can see something that you're not seeing. So I wish I get an outside perspective of whatever's happening to you or something you're a part of um in that moment. But I do think there are a lot of different things, and he says he doesn't want to spend any more summer times alone, but he also doesn't want to rush falling in love right now. He wanted to start a family, but he doesn't want to rush to just falling in love with anybody, and he does believe in love at first sight. He says, even if we fall in love at first sight, we can run away with each other. He doesn't want to spend any more cold Decembers alone. Which I think that's the mindset of a lot of people going into 2022 is that, or in 2022, where we're like, hey, relationships are the main goal, and some people might not be there, but you get to a point where you're like, you know what, relationships aren't the main part of growing up or anything really. Because somebody once told me, if you're not happy single, you won't be happy in a relationship. And I've seen that happen towards people. So I think what I'm saying is just, I get it. You can fall in love at any point, not necessarily when you want to, but you don't want to spend too many nights alone. You get lonely. You don't want to spend too many nights alone because you can get lonely. And some people scar themselves. But a lot of people, I think this song more reflects on people's love lives. And I think this is why I'm giving this song maybe a little bit of room to wiggle. And I'm going to give it a 6.5, which isn't terrible, but I think it's a little bit better than what I was expecting. And he's talking about actual emotions here and in theory, he's just talking about a love life, which a lot of people do have in life. Some people don't have. So I do enjoy this, but I think the song and the beat and the tempo is okay. The filming is okay with it, but a 6.5 is more settled to me because right now, like the first two listens, it's good. It's decent. You catch more things on your second listen, but overall, I still think it's a 6.5. It's good. It's better than what I expected, but it's still, I think he could be a lot better as an artist. So, 6.5 out of 10. Cold December by Rod Wave.